Hey guys, welcome back to Linda's Resin Room. So today what we're going to do is we are going to do a bloom in this tray. I'm using the Let's Resin Fast Cure Part A, Part B, and I have mixed up 6 ounces. But before we get started, we have a very special viewer today who has a birthday. Her name is Madeline, and she is turning 10 if I'm not mistaken. She goes by the name Maddie. So happy birthday, Maddie. I sent you a package. I hope you've got it by now. If not, just know it's on the way. But I just wanted to tell you happy birthday. So everybody tell Maddie, happy birthday, Maddie. All right, let's get started. Now, our resin, this is the Fast Cure. I usually don't use Fast Cure for a bloom because sometimes I have issues. But we are at 35.3 degrees. So I've got my cup here. We're going to measure out 20 gram for my white. Oh, and Maddie, if you wanted to know what I do with my pieces that I do the leftover resin, and I call them my dump pieces, I give those away. So you might have a little something in there in that package from one of those. All right, there's my 20 for my white. Now, hopefully I don't get any bubbles, and I hope 6 ounces is enough. I do want to put a backing on this. So let's see. You only need a thin layer to do a bloom. So as long as I'm equal around through there even, we should be okay. I don't want to fill it up too much, but I do want to make sure. Yeah, I think I'm good. Okay, and I've still got plenty of room to put it back. So let's set, we got a little extra. I might dump that in a mold here in a minute. I'm just going to set that out of the way and set that there. The colors I'm using is Let's Resin. I have azure blue, purplish red, and emerald green. Now these colors, they come from the 48-piece Let's Resin kit. And I will link everything in the description. 3, 4. Let's do 4 drops. And if we need more color, I can always get more color. And that was the emerald green. Now we're doing the purplish red around that. Okay, I think we're going to be fine with 3 colors. And then the azure blue, which I think is just so pretty. Okay. Now, what time those move, we'll mix our white. If you'll drop your inks first as soon as you decant your resin, then you're giving it time. There's something on that. You're giving it time to spread and stop moving before you add the white. 1 drop, 2 drops. 2 drops because this is 20 gram of resin, and with bloom paste, it is 1 drop for every 10 gram. Those colors are really pretty, aren't they? Okay, I think I'm going to draw petals today. I don't draw petals often, but I think that's what I'm going to do. Get all that white off that stick. Looks like there's some blue that must have been coming off from the stick. That's okay. If it's got a little blue tint, I don't care. Okay. Now, let's see if we can draw some petals. Drawing petals takes a little longer than pouring it straight out. And I'll probably get all different colors down in this cup. It will probably start turning a different shade before I get to the end. I'm going to have a lot of little areas that could blob if I don't fix them. Okay. I think this will be really pretty, I hope. Put a little more there. You can see the color going down the side of my cup. I'm dragging my stick through it. It's already starting to bloom. You want your resin between 33 and 36 degrees before you decant, so that the resin thickens up and gets thick enough to hold that white, to keep it from all sinking to the bottom. I don't know if we can get another one back here or not, maybe. And you just kind of let it roll off the stick. Here we go. Get the other side over here. I gotta tell y'all, my grandbaby called me today, and I'm getting them for a week. And he's, Granny, when are you coming to get me? And I was like, coming to get you today. And he's like, well, hurry up, Granny. He said, where are you at? Which I was at work, so I told him I'm at work. He's like, you need to hurry up. He's so funny. He's only 6. Okay, I'm going to put another little one up there, and I just hit the side. And you can see we got extra of that too, so that's going to go into a dump. All right, let me find my dotting tool here. Here we go. Now all these little heavy areas, make sure you pull so that they don't blob on you. Because they will. They will sink straight to the bottom. I don't know what's happened there. And when you mix your white up, you want it to look like skim milk. You have more tendency to blob in the center than you do on the outside, I find. And I think that's because of it starts heating up and curing from the inside out. But it pulls everything to the center. All right, so we'll let that cure up. Put a backing on it. Hopefully it'll look pretty. Now let's find some extras molds here. Let's see, I haven't done this star yet. So, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to add drop here. That was 2. I'm just going to kind of swirl a little bit. And I'm going to add, I hope these don't, you know what, let's leave the green out. Green will be really bad to muddy, but blue and red will make purple. And let's just pour it this way and see what we get. Okay. I think we might get enough out of here to fill this star up. But you can see how much white was left from drawing in petals. When you draw petals in, you don't use very much white at all. Okay. Don't think I'm going to get quite enough, so I might pour just a little clear in that. Let's clean this stick off. Y'all know me, that'll end up on my arm. I think I forgot to pull that one through. Okay. All right. So we're just going to put a little in there and let it kind of do its thing. Okay, that is full. Now we've got a little bit left here. What else do I have? Love these little butterflies. Let's see. I got this color in today, Miracle Lou Jade Green. Let's try it out. It is a resin pigment, so it's not an alcohol ink. And they always send one of these nice little openers with them. So let's just put a little in there and see if we can get this to mix up. This resin's already getting thick where it is. It's already a thicker resin because it's the fast cure. Now this is going to have bubbles, and I don't know if they'll come out, but we'll see. Okay. Let's see if we can get it to fill this little butterfly up. I'm just curious what color that is. Okay. I think it might need just a little more. All right. Now let's see if we can get some small ones. Can you guys see there? At least one small one. Just let it flow. Okay. Now can we scrape out enough to make a set? I think we're going to. Okay, almost. I believe this one can use just a little more once it's settled. I love the color green. I try not to make everything green, but I have a tendency to do it anyways. I think it's because it's my favorite color. All right, we only have a little bit left. I'll clean that up before my arm gets in it. So let's get our big leaf here we've been working on. He's going to take a long time, but he's getting there. Okay. Almost. Alright guys, I think that's all I can get out of that cup. So we'll move that out of the way. Let me spritz this down with some alcohol and get it cleaned. I'm going to spritz that, and spritz that, and that one. I don't want to put any in my alcohol. You can see the center may not bloom in that. Just because it is the fast cure. And like I said, it does cure from the center first. I hope it blooms. But it wouldn't surprise me if it doesn't. Alright guys, we'll let all this cure up. We'll come back to put a backing on. And I will see you guys then. Alright guys, this is cured up enough that I think we can put our backing on it. Now, if you can see in the center, it doesn't look like it's bloomed very well. The outside does, but not the center. And you can't see through the mold to see. Woo! I dropped it. Alright, so what I thought we would do is I've got 2 ounces of resin here. We're going to put a backing on it. And I'm going to use this Let's Resin mica powder, the forest green. And I think this came with 60 colors in the box. I took them all out and put them on my shelving that's on the wall. But I thought this green would give it a little shimmer around the edges and help try to pull some of the green that's in the center together. But where you can see through that, if that turns out bad, we're going to use this washi tape and take one of these flowers and put over that in the center, and then we'll cover it with some clear resin. Now I'm still using my 4-hour fast cure. So we're just going to mix this color. And I am going to get this in the debubbler. Well, no, I don't think I will. It's such a thin layer, I don't think it will matter. I can take a heat gun and pop the bubbles or spritz it with some alcohol because it's going to be a very thin layer. But that is our color. I wanted it a little more green. That looks a little gold. Alright guys, let me get another color. We're going to add another green. Alright guys, can't see how this is going to look, but we're going to add a little bit of this spring green. Came from the same kit. And see if we can get more of a green that I want. I don't want that gold looking green. I wanted a darker green, but not really the gold tint. Okay, let's see how this looks. A little better. I think I can live with that color. Alright guys, I'm just going to finish mixing this up, then we'll come back and pour. See you in just a moment. Alright, so I am completely mixed. Looks like my bubbles are coming to the top, so it's degassing very well. Not worried about micro bubbles. You're not going to see them in this. Okay. Just want it to go to the edge. There's quite a bit of room in here, so I really think it'll take these 2 ounces. I better get down here and look, mightn't I? I'd hate to overflow. Okay. I don't know if it's going to... I think it can hold all this. We're going to press our luck anyways. I am going to clean this stick off. I'm just going to wipe that off with a paper towel. And get our little spatula here. That works wonders. And see if we can get everything out of this cup. Okay. that's going to be a really pretty green. Okay, almost. Now let's just let that drip off. I think we're about to get it. Now, let's see if we can get this nice little drips here. Okay, I'm going to set that cup out of the way and let that cure. Come on, drip off, drip, drip, drip. I know as soon as I move that it's going to drip on me if I don't let it finish. Come on. There we go. Now, we are going to clean this with our 91% isopropyl alcohol. I'm going to spritz that. And then we can just wipe this off. And that will be clean for the next time. Throw that out of the way. Wonder if I can get those up. There we go. And I'm going to overflow. I knew if I pressed my luck that would happen. That is because of where's my dump mold? In front of my nose. That's because I spritzed it with alcohol. And I broke my barrier there. So, our poor little ugly seashell here. He's going to be so ugly. Okay. Now I've done got it outside the mold. And I can't get it. There we go. Okay. Well, I'm going to have it draining down the side of this one now. I don't want it on the outside. I want it all on the inside. There we go. Alright, are we good? I think we're good. Now let me just wipe that off again, since I still got alcohol on my paper towel. Now we should be good. Alright guys, we'll let that cure up. These aren't quite ready yet, but they will be by the time we let this cure. So I'll see you guys back for the demold, and then we'll see if we need to add a flour, put a thin layer of resin. So I'll see you guys then. Everything has cured up, so let's demold these first, and then we'll see if we need to save the center of this bloom. I'm glad these molds are easier to demold. Ooh, that's pretty, isn't it? That is so pretty. And then the matching small ones. I love those. So shiny. Now our little dump star. We can throw a magnet. No, he's a P. Is he? Yeah, we can do a magnet. Well, that's kind of neat. Definitely has some overage. Just scrape off. Yeah. And none of these need trimmed. Isn't that neat? For a dump pour. Okay. Now, move all this out of the way. Let's see how bad the center is. We can get this out of here. Oh, the edge is really clear, isn't it? See a hair. Okay. Come on, come on, come on. Okay, it's not too bad. It bloomed a little. I think I'm still going to put a sticker in there. Can you see that? So it wasn't horrible, but this is why I don't like fast cures. I can't get my centers to bloom like the rest of the piece. It's like they just cure up too quickly. So we have our washi tape here. I can grab a hold of it. It's very sticky. Okay. That one's really pretty. And it would cover everything we need. So we'll do the first one. Okay. Where is my scissors? I don't want to clash this too much with the red. I don't care much for the purple. Yeah, and that starts over. So I think I like the first one the best anyways. So let's just see if we can get that off of there. Okay. Now, these are supposed to have 2 layers. One on the back, and then you peel the one off the front. If I can get this started. Almost. There we go. Now, how do I want? I like it. What? There. I think. That's a little far down here, isn't it? If I do it sideways like that. I don't know if I can get it back off. I bet it'll stay. No, it's going to come off. Good. Okay. It's just, see, it's still got a little too much over here. Okay, we're just going to, I think I need to come down my way just a little bit. Okay, I think right there is even. Now I can feel the sticker on this side, so I don't know how you get that off. I think it's just one-sided sticker. If that's the case, you're going to see that. So let's trim off as much of the white as I can. That means I'm going to, or the clear, which means I'm going to get rid of all those little extra bits. Because I don't want to be able to see them. Okay. Now, it's going to go there. I'm going to mix up some resin. I don't think I will need much. Just rubbing it around. And then we're going to see if we can cover this up. These could go in the garbage. I think I've got one stuck to my scissors. There it is. Alright guys, let's mix up some resin and I'll be right back. Alright, so I got an ounce of resin mixed up. And I didn't put it in the debubbler, but I did put just a little tiny bit of this crushed crystal in there to give it a little bit of a shimmer. And what I'm going to do is just pour a little thin layer on here. And then I'm going to blow it around with the heat gun to get the bubbles out. So I just want to spread this all around. And you only need a very thin layer. I'm just wanting to seal that sticker in. Nothing more. I don't want to lose the tray. Now, sitting here thinking with Fast Cure, I have such issues getting the center to close. Maybe that when I do blooms with the Fast Cure, maybe I can put stones in the center first. Try to make it look pretty that way and not have to do a sticker after. But this is one way to save a piece if the center doesn't turn out. Throw a sticker on it. Okay. I think I've got plenty of resin in there. Just take your time and get it all the way to the edge, spread it out. And after it sets for a minute, you'll know if you need to add more, because then you'll start seeing it pull away from areas and you'll have holes. Then you know you need to add just a little bit more to level all that resin out. Okay, which I think we have plenty. I probably didn't need even all that. But let's take our heat gun to it. The heat is going to thin the resin down and make it move around, but it's also going to get rid of all those little micro bubbles that's in there. You just got to be very, very careful that you do not use that heat for more than a few seconds. Otherwise, you will fast cure. And see, you can see this sticker. That's why I don't like these ones. I had other stickers I could have used. But I see so many people use this stuff that I wanted to try it, but I thought it peeled off from the front and the back. But apparently these don't. It just peels off from the back. The front doesn't come off because the sticker's on the front. Oh well. Alright guys, we'll let this cure up. I will get photos, post at the end, and that is it. And again, happy birthday, Maddie. Thank you so much for watching my videos. I'm glad you enjoy them, and I hope you get your package if you haven't got it already, and have a very blessed happy birthday. I'll see everybody again for the next video. Bye for now.